There are many times when it's helpful to know what the remaining loan balance is after you've been paying a loan for a certain amount of time. Maybe, for example, you want to use your tax refund to pay off your car loan and you think you might be close to being able to do that. Or maybe you're getting ready to move and you're going to be selling your house, and so you want to know how much you owe on your current mortgage so that you know what you can afford for your second home. So the one thing that you really have to pay a special attention to is that only a portion goes to paying off the balance of your loan, and those are the calculations we just did. Okay, so you might have $1,000 payment, and only 800 might be actually, or 800 might be going to pay off the interest. Only 200 goes to paying down your debt. So that other portion is going to the interest. So the way to think about this is as is listed here. How much loan will these payments pay off in the remaining time that's left on the loan? So for example, if you're making a $300 car payment and you still have 3 years to pay on the loan, you use that car payment as your R and use your time as 3, and that'll tell you how much principal you still owe. So let's take a look at a problem here for a mortgage. So you've got a mortgage at 4.5% interest. The payments are $750 a month. How much will the balance be 10 years from the end of the loan? So this 10 years from the end of the loan, that is your time that is left to pay, or the time that is remaining. And so that's the amount we're going to use in our loan formula. So the principal, in this case, how much money you still owe, because principal is what you borrow. We're going to think of it as kind of like I'm starting to borrow money with 10 years to go. You're paying $750 a month. Your interest rate is 4.5%. And again, we're looking at this as 10 years left to pay. Plugging that all into your calculator, you will find with 10 years left to go, you still owe, not including interest, $72,366.99. Okay, so however much you borrowed at the beginning, notice that that's not even a factor here. We don't know how much money you borrowed at the beginning, but what we know is with 10 years to go, you still owe over $72,000. All right, so let's look at this next example here. So a couple takes out a mortgage for $250,000 at 4% interest, 4.6% interest, for 20 years. And 3 years later, a company transfer requires that they move out of state. So what is the remaining balance on their mortgage? Now in this case, I did not tell you what their actual mortgage payment was. So the first step you have to do is you need to figure out what their monthly payment is, because I did not tell you that. But we can find that out. We've been doing that several times here in the last several examples. So initially, they borrowed $250,000. We're going to figure out their regular payment, and that was at 4.6% interest, and that was a 20-year mortgage to begin with. So again, you're going to have a number times R. So whatever that number is, again, don't round. And then you're going to divide both sides of the equation by that number. And I'm sorry, I don't have that calculated right at the moment. But you'll know here in a second how you did. That regular monthly payment is $1,595.15. So that's step one, find the monthly payment. So this is what they've been paying every month for 3 years, okay? So when it says 3 years later they're going to move, that means they have 17 years of payments that they have committed to. Now they're going to move, and I understand that, but they're going to have to pay off this loan for the home that they're living in whenever they move. You still owe that money. So next thing we're going to figure out is how much do they still owe? Okay, so what we're going to do is figure out what is that principal amount that they owe. We know their regular monthly payment amount is $1,595.15. It's still at 4.6% interest, but now remember, we're down to 17 years of payments. Okay, 17 years to go. So we're talking about 17 years worth of payments. 4.6% interest still at those 12 months. No need to do any division here because we've got the variable isolated by itself. And so after 3 years of payments, they still owe $225,467.69 on their loan. That is the remaining balance on their mortgage, and that's the actual question we were asked to answer. Okay, so I'm going to have you take a look at question C. Again, pause the video, see if you can figure out how that works. And just a little note here, I did not tell you how much the monthly payment was, so it's going to resemble question B first. Okay, so for this one, first you need to find his monthly payment. So under the original terms of the loan, Nate was borrowing $10,000 for 36 months, which is 3 years. Make sure you change that into years. You're not going to get a 36-year car loan. That would be really crazy ridiculous. You're probably not even going to have your car 36 years. I would say strongly not is going to be the case there. So by the time you calculate that one, his original monthly payment is this $290.81. So then what you need to do is take that information and find out how much money he still owes. So he's made 18 of those 36 payments. So subtracting, you find out he has 18 payments to go. Remember, we need to take those 18 months of payments and turn that into how many years that is. So dividing by 12, we find that's 1.5 years. So plugging in the monthly payment amount for R and putting in, again, everything else the same except our time changes. Now we only owe 1.5 years worth of payments. We find out that halfway through his loan, he still owes $5,112.30. So if he's going to use his bonus to pay off his loan, that's how much he's going to have to pay in one lump sum in order to get that debt off of his hands.